Hello once again, this is Jonathan Moore with the Hometown Historian Channel. We are back here in Cornwall, Pennsylvania. This is for the Villages of Cornwall Series. Look at the beautiful flowery bush here, but this is the homes here. They call it Toytown. The residents called it Toytown because the homes were prefabbed, which was unique for the time, back in the late 20s, early 30s. And they just sort of, the way they put them together was almost like they were putting together toy houses. So it became known as Toytown. It's actually quite a few streets through here. Some are sort of the normal rectangular house, and other ones sort of have this, I guess the closest thing you can say that it would be like an arts and crafts type style. But this was back in that period of time is when they did that, but they were kit homes is what they were known as. They had the Sears kit homes, but these were a little bit different. This village here, or neighborhood, Toytown, was actually built by the Bethlehem Steel Company. They had bought, I believe it was 1917, 1918 is when they basically bought out all of Cornwall Iron Furnaces holdings. And there were several of those different villages, so they bought them all out. This was a village they actually built themselves. They were in the process of starting the number 4 mine, which was quite an extensive project. So they needed homes, excuse me, for all the old, or for all the new engineers, clerks, and all those individuals that would be sort of putting together the process. Just beautiful little homes, beautiful neighborhood. Once again, this is Monday, May 23rd, and it's just a beautiful day. The last 2 days over the weekend were brutally hot and humid. Got a lot of rain in the afternoon, so it's just got that cool, clean, crisp feel. Another one of these beautiful bushes here, one there as well. But so we're just gonna walk up and down through these villages so you can get a view of these villages of Cornwall. But these were all built, like at least most of them were built between 1929 like 1930. All different sort of unique homes. There's some that have very similar layouts, which with it being kit homes, it would make sense. So I've seen a couple like that with sort of almost the Dutch type roof style there. And a number of these that have the same style there as well. But this is a beautiful little town. This is only one street. I believe there's like four separate streets through here that they're all considered. Because like I said, it was quite the expansion. They had gotten rid of, each of these villages would have like North Cornwall, Bird Coleman, Anthracite. They all had their own iron furnace. And these weren't, the iron furnaces that I've shown you to this point were like Swatera iron furnace, Manada iron furnace. Those were the old style. That was the old technology. The new iron furnace technology started coming in around, like, say, the 1850s, 1860s. So they were much larger, more expansive operations. And so I'll actually put some pictures up. Like for North Cornwall and Anthracite, I have pictures of the old operations. And they're quite impressive. But they wound out, when they bought them in 1918, by the 20s, like 22, 23, they basically just started tearing them all down. And there's an even much newer form of technology, and everything was going towards steel instead of iron, of course, as well, because of, America was building no longer outwards, it was more upwards. I think we're going to cross right here because this is a pretty, I like the pretty color, sort of like the Victorian type colors. Slate gray or whatever you want to call it. I'm colorblind, so it all looks similar to me to a degree, but just wanted to give you a general idea what some of these homes look like in Toytown. This is the newest village of all of Cornwall. The only one that would be newer, there's a town called Annville over near North Cornwall. That village, that's newer. That was built in, I believe, the 40s. It was laid out by a man, his last name was Crench, who would eventually become the mayor of Cornwall. But that was, I believe, 1949. is when that would have been built. Probably were homes in that general region, but then it just became its own little town. One of which I'd never heard of before I started doing all my research here in Cornwall. But this is a pretty little short walk going up and down the street here in Toytown, and you just get a chance to see these homes and one of the many villages, neighborhoods, or communities, whatever you want to call them, but each with its own name. And like I said, most of them, like Bird Coleman, North Cornwall, Anthracite, they each had their own iron furnace right there. So the homes that were built specifically for the workers for that iron furnace site. And Miners Village, which is, I would say, was probably, besides Toytown here, is the largest of the villages. Rexmont's larger, Corinchville's larger, but the ones that actually were directly involved are owned by the Cornwall Iron Furnace Works. Miners Village is the largest, and that was built specifically for the miners, because it was not only an iron furnace operation, but it was a mining operation as well. And quite extensive. I think one of the largest iron ore operations in the country east of the Great Lakes. So the Miners Village was also for the workers that worked directly at the Cornwall iron furnace itself, because there was an operation there that was quite extensive. But like I said, what I've showed you to this point were the old style iron kilns or iron furnaces that sort of started to go out of style, if you will, probably in the 1840s, late 1840s, and then they wound up going to the new iron furnace operations, which was much larger, I would say, as well, probably much uglier. Just building, it was more industrialized, that type of thing. So the technology had changed. They would be able to smelt more iron, make more pig iron, cleaner iron as well. They were able to have higher temperatures, so they were able to get more of the things out of it that were polluting the iron, so it wasn't as good. So that also sort of put the forges out of business, because the furnaces were able to do quite a bit more that they hadn't been able to necessarily do before. So with that, this is the village neighborhood of Toytown. And this is the series, the Villages of Cornwall, and we will see you in the next village, and we'll see you in About Town. Thanks, everybody.